Hello, lovely Aquarius. Thank you so much for tuning into your reading with me, Lorien, for September 2017. It's a pleasure. Thank you for joining me. So we're going to be using the Everyday Witch Tarot by Deborah Blake, and this is a general reading for Aquarius Sun, Moon and Rising sign. If you also want to check out your love, maybe have a look at your Venus sign. So if you have Venus in Libra or something like that, you may be able to find some information. If you'd like a personal or private reading from myself, you just click the link below to my website or email me lorientarot@gmail.com and ask me which reading you think or I think will be best for you, because sometimes people aren't sure what reading will answer their questions, so I'm always on hand. Let's have a look and see what comes through for Aquarius this month. Now, as always, I have meditated and I have basically asked for advice as to what Aquarius can expect this September. So let's see what comes up for you guys. And it's raining so much today. Alright. Oh, the Hermit. Okay. And you have the Seven of Swords, the Empress, the King of Pentacles, the King of Swords. That could be you. Got the Seven of Pentacles. Oh, 7 and 7. Very cool. The Ace of Wands and the Ace of Cups. And at the bottom we have the Eight of Cups. Let's just see if we can get this all into shot here. Here we go. I'll just move them up slightly for you. Alright, so it does seem to say that you need to watch yourself a little bit. As soon as this particular card came out, it was very much like watch yourself. Make sure that you're not doing too much for too many people. Also, make sure that you're not being over excessive in various things like drink or extracurricular activities. Make sure that you're not actually doing too much of the other things that could really make your energies fall away. Like, it could be doing too much work, it could be doing too much escapism, like when it comes to drink or video gaming or whatever. They just really don't want you to go too far down the rabbit hole when it comes to that this month. There's too much potential for you guys. There's too much out there for you to achieve, I think, is what they're trying to say, basically. There's a lot of potential for you in general, but I think the main theme is that they don't want you to waste opportunities as and when they come this month, because September for me is quite a strong month for new beginnings. It's all about that kind of connective energy, how you're able to interpret things with other people. It's basically, I think, maybe because we always start school here in the UK in September, so it could be seen as the new year for some of us. But I do think that this is all about growth. It's also maybe taking the time to listen to yourself, listen to your higher self, think about what it is you really want to do. What I'm noticing here is a lot of crown chakra towards the beginning of October. So I do think that you'll probably be looking into some kind of spirituality towards the end of this month, maybe increasing your connection to the universe, stuff like that. Really, it feels like that's kind of coming through and being quite prominent for you all. Yeah, so let's see. So we do have the Hermit here. The Hermit is a very strong card for spirituality in general, and I do think this is coming through with such a powerful, they're said to be a disguise. I don't know why it's a disguise. Maybe you don't see it as a spiritual pursuit when you're doing it, but it actually does give you that kind of energy that you need, maybe to connect with your higher self or meditate. Could be something to do with that. And also, because you have the King of Swords here, again, it could be you. It could be the fact that you're gaining knowledge from maybe the Akashic records. I can't say the words, apparently. Or maybe it's just something that you feel like you can go within. Some of you, this could be a person who seems to think they know best. It could be that they're trying to, I don't know, manipulate you in some way, or just seem to be very much like down the line rule person. So if you're experiencing somebody who's like, no, 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 you must do it this way, I know better, or you must conform to this thing, maybe just go within yourself a little bit more. Don't pay attention to the naysayers so much, because at the end of the day, you're your own creator. So I think that's pretty much a theme that's coming through as well for you here. As always, though, it does feel like you are going through some certain changes. I mean, the 7 is all about faith and the alterations that you want to achieve, but you have 2 in the same column here. So it could be that you are finally moving forwards, but this seems to say don't trick yourself. You know, don't fool yourself into thinking that you know what's up, or don't fool yourself into thinking, oh, I know exactly what's happening here. You know, maybe you don't. And it's absolutely fine if you don't know everything that's coming through for you at any given time. It's okay. You don't have to worry too much about that. If you don't worry too much about that, then you can actually reap the harvest here. You know, it's something as simple as just kind of being in your zone, being in your own energy, not worrying too much about how things happen or what things do, and just kind of appreciating that energy and how it comes through. I think will be a very strong, reliable source of maybe residual energy for you to really appease yourself with. And it seems to be a lot of people that may be coming through for your advice or through for your time, and I just think that some of them aren't worth it. Some of them, I think, would be quite positive. I think they'd be quite in touch with certain things, but some of them may actually just drag you down a little bit too. These could be the influencing people who say, hey, why don't you do this and why don't you do that? These could be the people who are saying, or trying to take away the nicety of you and try and get you to conform to their ideals, to their what they want to do. So if they want to spend 24 hours in a bar, let them do it, but I don't think it's going to be wise for you this month. Certainly, all you have to do is relax, keep things fluid, make sure things move forwards, and that kind of thing. But ultimately, I don't think it's very good for you to dwell on certain aspects of people who may be trying to take advantage and stuff like that. If you can, just separate yourself from that, because otherwise I do think you'll probably be second guessing yourself, and occasionally you could be trying to outdo somebody or outsmart somebody when you just don't have to pay them attention. Basically, you don't have to pay them any attention. And then we have the Empress. And the Empress, to me, is a very strong person, and it also seems to be an element of you. I do think that you're, this month, going to give birth to an idea, a new concept, maybe even trying to fit things into Alright, so this is 3 things. You're going to try and fit things into a sort of pattern for yourself. That's number 1. 2, you're going to be put in the spotlight, quite literally, and asked to do something. 3, you're going to find you have more time to spend on yourself and go into nature and be very free. And I do think that some of you may be trying to get over some kind of health issues. Some of you may even be thinking, oh, well, I'm just going to focus on the spiritual, I'm not going to focus on the material. And that I don't think is going to be helpful for you. I don't think that you're going to be as intense when it comes to that. And also, I don't feel that you would be quite charmed if you were to just kind of give up. But it does feel like no matter which version it is, 1, 2 or 3, you do have a new beginning here. So you have the potential, you have the kind of inspiration and creation that you need inside you, and I do feel you're going to summon that. I feel that it's going to just kind of explode, whether it's from art or gardening or reading. I do think you're going to find the answer to something that maybe you've asked the question fairly recently. It seems like you're going over and over and over again with some certain things that you didn't really realise you needed to know the answer to a while ago. So that could be something that's incredibly important for you. I also feel that this is something that maybe people have brought up in the past, like people have been saying, oh, well, you should do this, or we know what's best for you, and just trying to put their own spin on it and stuff like that. But it could even be this guy down here saying, oh, well, you should be doing this or you should be doing that. And maybe some of you, it could be a boss as well that's just trying to be quite annoying and not generally being helpful to you. That does happen, unfortunately. But I do think overall it's something that you can really utilize for yourself. This month is full of manifestation, it's full of law of attraction. All you have to see is look here, and then maybe even the Seven of Pentacles that's coming through that really does seem to have a very strong identity with you. I mean, 7 is often the path of very solitary people, but nevertheless strong creatives, people who generally change the world for the better. And you can look at it like this is a duty. You can look at it like, well, I'm here for a reason, and then go into a meditative state to actually ask what reason you're here for. But ultimately, I do think that there's so much more that you can achieve this month, Aquarius, if you just pace yourself a little bit. Don't worry too much about what you're not doing. Just can't, if you need the day off, take the day off. Nobody here is going to really tell you off for doing some self-care. Certainly I wouldn't. And if they do tell you off for actually taking care of yourself, then they need to sort out their priorities. But it does feel like there's a bit more intensity coming up over the course of the next few months that may just need this time to prepare for. Now, I don't really know what that is, but I do think that there's something coming through that you will just need that balance to kind of overcome. And in some respects, you'll probably want to, restore your energy a little bit before that happens. Because I do feel that this King of Pentacles and the Ace of Cups here is all to do with your crown chakra. And it does seem like there's quite a connection here. Like the King of Pentacles in himself is a very strong earth sign. He seems to have it all figured out. Generally, I don't know whether he does. I think he's a pretty solid guy, and I think he's very good in business, but I don't know whether he knows 100% the ins and outs of how things are. I also feel that some of your friends, or maybe even just one or two, may have problems in their relationship and then ask you for help about it. So it could be that somebody continues to come through and just say, hey, I really don't know what to do, please help me, and really trying to get you involved in something that you don't want to be involved in. If that's the case, just tell them you don't really know, and you don't want to make decisions for them as well. That's sometimes why people ask people the hard questions. But majority of it, I do actually think that this person is quite a good friend to you and that you'll want to help them. Some of you, not all of you obviously, some of you I think it's to do with a friend who may have married too hastily, and it could actually be coming across that they're not very into that anymore, or the partner isn't into them, I don't know. But for you in general, it seems like you are coming into prosperity, you are coming into a sense of well-being, security, financially and generally. But this is about your crown chakra as well, because I got this from both cards. So not only is it a new beginning, you could be looking at love and relationships and mistakes in the past, and then maybe putting it to rest and moving on from that. It feels like you are moving towards something a lot better, and I also feel that you will be gaining ground. I also think that there's a lot to come from general feelings that you may have, like intuitions that come through. Like you see somebody walking down the street and go, oh, I'm not sure about them, or something tells you to get off the bus or something. Keep watch of those. Keep watch of those instincts. Now, I'm not saying look at everybody and think that they're going to do something bad. That's not the way it's supposed to be. But if you, for instance, see like a lady who's very nervous or something like that, maybe, no, not nervous, that's a bit wrong. Okay, giving you an example. So when I was about 10 years old, I was walking down the high street with my mum, and there was this particular gentleman who was just walking down the road, same pace as us, walking through all these people. And my attention was immediately snapped to him. And I went, oh, I don't like that. And I was only about 10, but I really didn't like this person's energy. And I kept watch of him, maybe halfway down the high street, until he kind of stopped off into, I don't know where it was, Top Shop or something. And he just kind of lingered there. And my mum and I, as we walked past, we kind of felt this relief that he wasn't walking anywhere near us anymore. And she looked at me and said, you felt it too, didn't you? I said, yes, I did. So that kind of thing is bad news. When you just know somebody's bad news, whether or not it's to do with their mood, what they're giving out, you know from your crown chakra somebody is just being bad news. And the important thing is to walk away from those bad energies, is to get rid of those bad energies, it's to not pay them any heed, and also to make sure you protect yourself from all those bad energies, because heaven forbid that you don't protect yourself and then something comes through and you're not able to do anything about it, and you have to kind of pick up the slack later on, because we don't want that, do we? So that's pretty much what I think this reading is about for you, is protecting yourself from people who may want to seek something, not kidding yourself, also benefiting yourself just for the near future when things seem to really be hotting up for you. I also want to say that I just got a message from somebody was mentioning like about mind your shoulders, mind your neck, something like that, mind your, like draft on your shoulders, or how you're sleeping or something. They don't really want you to experience any cricks probably, but something just seems to be like mind your joints, especially if you're in a cold climate or currently wet or damp or anything. Yeah, mind your joints, mind that you're not picking up anything that's too heavy. Obviously this isn't for everybody, but I think it's just to make sure that you're all doing okay and not maybe putting yourself under too much strain. So without further ado, let's have a look and see which runes are coming up today for you guys. Oh, okay, so this is Hagalaz, this is Wrath of Nature, but this is also about tests. So yeah, you could have either a spiritual teacher or somebody who's just kind of testing you. Incidentally, I also believe some of you, this could be somebody whose name begins with an H. It could just be something like that. But I do feel that the tests are going to be coming through maybe towards the middle of September for you guys. Oh, okay, so somebody else had this, I can't remember who it was. But this is now basically in reverse. This is a little bit of restlessness. It could be maybe a bit drudgery as well. Maybe you're dissatisfied with something. Maybe you're kind of like, well, I'm not bothered with the status quo. I don't like it. I don't like just doing the same thing in and out every day. Blah, blah, blah. So maybe it's something that you can achieve here. But I honestly feel that there's a connection between everything that's happening in these two cards. Maybe you're kidding yourself, or maybe you look out the window and see that there's somebody actually having a better time because they're doing something honestly, they're applying their energy evenly. I don't know, it just feels very weird to me. Okay, a ruse upside down. So this is very much about speed and physical strength if it was upright. Whoops. But as it's underneath like that, it can mean sometimes that it's a little bit of frailty or bit of jealousy as well, I think. So again, I do think that you need to have that sort of vision cleared. Let's see what the next column has to say. Okay, so this is good. This is Perth. This very rarely comes out actually, but this is about mystery and hidden things and secrets uncovered, and maybe things that you've buried for a long time. Maybe it's things like talents that you forgot you had. This seems to come through. This seems to really help you. It seems to be something that you bring forward. The Empress and the Ace of Wands bringing up that creativity, giving birth to something, giving that inspiration that you need, that knowledge that you automatically have to deal with certain things. So I think this is quite a good rune for you. Ooh, okay. This is Saulo. This is basically victory. This is honor, life force, health, success. And I do think that this is all about, again, your crown chakra. Maybe a little bit of protection as well. But I do honestly feel that your health is your priority this month. And that is actually going to help your success and your victory, because I do think that whereas you may be putting a lot of energy into various subjects, sometimes it's just best to kind of take a step back and not put too much effort into it. I think it's good to pace yourself. But let me know how things are going for you, Aquarius. It really does seem like everything's happening for a reason this month. Have you got anything planned? Is there something happening that you need to do or need to tackle first? Do let me know in the comments below, and also thank you so much for your subscriptions and likes and shares, and I really do love hearing from everybody on this channel as well. Again, if you'd like a private reading with your own questions, all you need to do is access the website via the link below, or email me lorientarot@gmail.com, and I will love you and leave you for September, and I really do look forward to seeing what October brings. Take care, Aquarius.